Welcome to Men's Class A Baseball. For the first time on record, we're covering the St. Louis Park Convicts, your Class A baseball team from the city of St. Louis Park. This is Men's League Baseball, and they're hosting the Edina E-Sox. This is the first game of a best-of-3 playoff series, as both teams are in the Riverview League. I am John Fromm, and I'll be announcing the game today. Just a nice shot of with our crack crew of the water tower here. We're here at Derek Keller Field, and this should really be a nice situation tonight. A lot of high-quality ball players on both teams. This is men's Class A baseball, if you're not familiar with it. These kids are, I should say, these men are 18 or over. A lot of these guys played Division I or II or even Division III baseball, and both teams are loaded with players that played at Park, which should make it good, and including the Edina roster. And for the Orioles, towing the slab today is going to be number 23, the veteran Pete Fuller. There you take a look at the Edina batting order. Let's take a look at Bobby Otto. He's a St. Louis Park grad who graduated a couple years back and is up at St. John's. He'll be leading it off in right. Nick Lear played at Edina High School. He's playing second. Eric Nelson, the shortstop. Jake Schmeezing in center. You see Andy Bartz in left field there. Brady Sand at third. Jack Schiesinger, excuse my pronunciation, at catcher. Kyle McDermott at first base. And Christian Erickson, also a St. Louis Park grad from 2010, will be the DH. And there you take a look at the veteran southpaw Pete Fuller. He is no stranger to competitive baseball. And these teams met last year in the best-of-3 playoff series, and St. Louis Park won 2 out of 3 games. And so we should expect a good battle tonight as well. We should mention that these teams split during the season, and we didn't get a chance to show you Pete's stats on the year, but Mr. Fuller is 5-3 on the year with a 1.56 ERA. So look around the infield there. Matt Paulson, the third baseman, one of the longtime stars in men's Class A baseball, a 91 Park grad. Mike Luck over at shortstop. Dave Lindstrom, a veteran player. Mark Bierman, a Park grad up at the University of North Dakota at first. Chris Duda, another Park grad in right. Mike Arlt and Parker Stennis in left field. And leading it off, you take a look at Pete Fuller there having a nice little conversation with his catcher. Joe Pierce, the veteran signal caller, gets the nod behind the dish today. And here is Bobby Otto to lead things off. As we mentioned, Bobby, a 2011 Park graduate, played for Chad Osted when Park was the section runners-up, and then also for a year for Aaron McEachran. See some good velocity and nice repertoire as he gets ahead of Otto early in the count here. Got a little time. We've already got a stoppage as something has came out of the field in left field. So Fuller, as we mentioned on the year, 5-3 with a 1.56 ERA for the left-hander. Park also has a left-hander in John Galise, who's had an outstanding year with a 6-2 mark. A little bit inside with that fastball, and it'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Otto, right-handed batter, slightly open stance. Got one hit up the middle softly. Little 6-3 put out that time as Mike Luck throws it over to Casey Garvin, playing first base today for the Convicts. And yes, indeed, that is their nickname, the St. Louis Park Convicts. Nobody with a record that we're aware of on the team, but they certainly want to intimidate their opponents. Nice look at Bobby there. Batting second for Edina, this is Nick Lear, the second baseman. Don't have full statistics for Edina, but I've got an assortment for St. Louis Park, so I know Lear was a good high school player at Edina. Little 1-1 fast or 1-0 fastball gets over there, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Gabe really pounds the strike zone. Chopper hit to Paulson at third. Paulson a running throw and a nice throw over to first to Garvin. We mentioned Matt, a 91 Park grad who played Division I baseball at Northern Iowa. He's been a stalwart in men's town team, as has Duda and some of the other guys out here. So 2 quick outs for Pete Fuller, and he's got to be happy about that. And that'll bring up the number 3 hitter for the East Sox, Eric Nelson, playing shortstop today. That one popped up high. Should be a playable on the infield here. And a nice job, and a 1-2-3 inning, and only 5 pitches on the inning for Mr. Fuller. So you just what the doctor ordered if you're a St. Louis Park fan. And if you just joined us, this is men's Class A baseball. These teams play with wood bats, and St. Louis Park started playing with wood bats in 1998, and then everybody in the Riverview League joined in 2003. So it's one thing that is really added to the game and emphasized more defense, etc., and pitching as well. But there's certainly plenty of long balls that are going to be hit as well. So take a look. The left-hander getting the call today is a young man who's had a lot of success, Alex Lampert. The pitcher today for Edina. His catcher will be Jack Schmeezing. And there you take a look at the Orioles batting order. Arlt in center, leading off Joe Pierce, the catcher. Paulson, as we talked about, batting third, playing third base. Dave Lindstrom at second. And then you got Mike Luck at shortstop, Chris Duda in right, Garvin at first. Mark Bierman, as we mentioned, another Park grad. He's at UND. He'll be DHing tonight. And Parker Stennis, who just graduated from Park and will be going to Concordia in the fall. There you take a look at Alex, and he was, I believe, the MVP of the State Legion tournament, or at least one of the big horses for Edina last year. He plays at St. Olaf and just finished his sophomore year. Last year, after his freshman year at St. Olaf, that young man came through and was just one of the big aces for the Edina Legion team that won the state title. So pretty good pitching matchup and a couple of lefties with a nice arsenal. Take a look around the outfield. It's Bart Schmeezing and Otto, Sand, Nelson, Lear, and McDermott on your infield. And Jack Schiesinger will be doing the catching today for Lampert. And this is Mike Arlt playing center field, leading off for St. Louis Park. That one hit hard to first base, and a really nice defensive play by Kyle McDermott, and he's going to be retired on one pitch. Nice little line out to first base. They take a look at the St. Louis Park lineup, and another big hitter in the St. Louis Park attack here. This is Joe Pierce, who's doing the catching today, number 33. Slightly open stance. He's got the orange and black Nikes on. Park with white uniforms, a really nice uniform adorned with black and orange lettering and orange stripage. That one chopped down. Nice play by Lampert. Oh, it went off his glove, and he's going to beat that out. Probably going to be, I'm not sure if they're going to give an infield single there, but a nice piece of hitting by Pierce. He didn't get a lot on that, but Lampert, I don't know if we have the replay of that. Lampert busted off the mound quickly, got down the third baseline, tried to field it with his glove, but unfortunately for him, it went off the tip of his glove, and that'll bring up Matt Paulson, one of the feared sluggers. Matt has a lot of career records for St. Louis Park, and is also hitting at .429 on the season this year. Strike taken away that time to Paulson. As we mentioned, he's a 91 grad, so Matt's still playing hard at age 40 here. I know Pat Fix, who was an 87 grad, is also still in the team. Oh, and that one's hit hard into the gap towards right center, and nobody's going to get that. That's a one-hopper over the fence for Paulson. A ground rule double for Matt Paulson. And I don't know if we have the replay of that, but he launched that fastball that was a little bit on the outside corner and just rocketed it into right center field. Beautiful piece of hitting by Paulson. Take a look over there at Pierce, who reached on that infield roller. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Dave Lindstrom, for St. Louis Park. Couple of convicts on the pond, so to speak. You see that ball just cranked out. Hit about 340 to right center with a wood bat. That was really tanked. Nice job by Lampert getting ahead there again. Lindstrom, 1 year, had 17 doubles for St. Louis Park. Up near the career record, Paulson holds the career record in doubles for St. Louis Park. I've got all kinds of statistics we're going to throw at you, courtesy of the manager, Chris Duda. 1-1 is the count here. That one peeled foul, back out of play. Kind of pushed a 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seen a lot of fastballs so far, but I know Lampert, besides having an 83, 84 mile an hour fastball, I know he's got an arsenal of variety of pitches. I saw him pitch once last year for Edina's Legion team. And in with some high fastball there. Just try to move them a little bit off the plate, and that'll run it to 2-2. Two and two as Lampert goes from the stretch here as a left-hander, since he doesn't have a good view of our Pierce. Ooh, and Lindstrom with a nice job just spoiling that off-speed pitch and able to ride along with a 2-2 count. Lindstrom hitting a robust .552 on the year. 15 for 29, I believe, or 16 for 29 with a pair of homers. Down and in, and that'll make it a full count here. Those numbers are right, .552. Lindy doesn't play a full schedule anymore. As we mentioned, St. Louis Park has had roughly 47 games on the season. Paulson with a lead at second. Pierce at third. Breaking ball, just hammered foul. Got a little piece of that slow curve there, and he looked like he was ready for it because he tanked on that one. Orioles have we mentioned Paulson officially leading the team with a .429 average. He's got 43 RBIs, and Joe Pierce, who's at third base, has 42 RBIs, and he leads the team with 6 home runs. Little change up away, and he's able to miss him there. So really nice at bat for Lindstrom. He fouled off a couple, worked the count full, and that'll load the bases for Mike Luck there. Mike on the season.
Got options.
Also doing well with a .343 average. Couple of homers, 32 RBIs. He's third on the team in ribbies. Little breaking ball, start him off with a curveball. He's got a very close stance. If you take a look, I don't know if we get a close-up of that ball, but his feet are about 8-10 inches apart, so very unusual. A lot of times guys use a wide base nowadays or go to a no-stride approach when they're hitting, but his feet are pretty narrow there, so full. Lampert. Little fake there. As we mentioned, bases are loaded. There's only 1 out here. We're still scoreless. Chris Duda, the player manager on deck for St. Louis Park. Nice job on that fastball. He's able to run that by him, make it 0-2 here. Good speed on that Lampert offering. Both teams, this is game 1 of the series, so both teams are throwing, quote unquote, their ace or their big gun here. And again, he gets some of the fastballs, so he goes really tight with the fastball there and is able to record the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up one of the more feared batters as well in men's Class A baseball. This is Chris Duda, a 2000 Park grad. Chris hitting .337 on the year. He played at Concordia College in St. Paul and was a Division II all-conference player. A little high with that fastball. He stands right on top of the plate. I don't know if you get a read on that because of where the second base umpire is, but you see where that left foot is there? He's got that almost practically in the catcher's box, and he's right on top of the plate. He gets hit by tons of pitches. There's a nice slow curve for a 1-1 there. So he's done a nice job, Lampert, mixing it up, throwing the fastball, some curves. I've seen him throw a couple changes.
Knock it down, getting out. Let's get out of here.
One and one with 2 down, bases full of convicts. And if you heard me right, it is the St. Louis Park men's Class A team. I need to get a look at the facial hair on Chris Duda. Down and away with that offering. I'll put it at 2-1. Duda was in 2000 when he graduated from Park. He was also a hockey player. And I know Chris was the MVP of the Play Ball Minnesota series, which is 80 players from around the state, the best seniors, and he happened to be the MVP. But his curveball as well, and he's going to take that for strikes too. So 2-2. Lampert mixing that up there. Infield playing deep and all around. Outfield straight away. That ball chopped hard to third base. A nice defensive play that time as Brady Sand able to corral that. And he just made sure that he went down to make sure he made the play because he had a force at third. So Lampert able to get out of that jam there as after the kind of the lucky infield single on the swinging bunt, Paulson banged an enormous double out to the fence and right. Lindstrom drew a nice walk, but he was able to retire the next 2. And after 1 inning, we're still scoreless here at Keller Field. We're going to stick. We'll be right back here.
Patty, let me be honest with you. Won't filing for Social Security benefits online be confusing?
George, it's simple and easy, and you can do it in your pajamas from the comfort of your own home.
Oh, my.
You've navigated through asteroid belts, right?
Oh, sure, plenty of times.
Well, compared to that, navigating SocialSecurity.gov is a snap.
Really?
It's so easy. Even Kirk could do it.
We are back here at Keller Field as you take a look at a couple of the young fans who've made their way here. I see 8 or 10 fans here, including Mike Morris, the long snapper, Nancy Fromm on hand, and several others. Not sure the names of those young men. A couple of future ball players here. You gotta like that. For Edina here, leading off the top of the second inning, it's going to be Schmeezing and then Bartz and Sand. Sand who made that play to end the first inning. I've got all kinds of statistics all the time, but in terms of, we mentioned earlier that Pete Fuller having a real nice season this year. Historically as well, Pete has really done some nice things. He's 38-8 lifetime. He's thrown 361 innings, Paul. 38-8. With a 2.34 ERA. Boy, talk about getting it done. That is St. Louis Park has another pitcher, Gabe Eicham, 71-10 in his career. That one peeled foul away. We should mention that St. Louis Park was the state Class A amateur champions in 2002 and 2008. That's really a big accomplishment. There's a lot of teams trying to play Class A baseball, which is the highest here. That one chopped towards third by Schmeezing. Fuller ahead of the count, 0-2. Yeah, you take a look at some of the famous people that have played for the town team. Keelan Conley, David Holland, who was a great pitcher for St. Louis Park High School. That one's popped up on the infield here. Should be a can of corn on the right side, and indeed it is for Casey Garvin for the first out. So Schmiesing retired on the pop for out number one. These are 9-inning games, we should mention. A lot of times people don't know if they are full-length games, but once you get into town team, it's all the real deal. Here's Andy Bartz, the left fielder today, also hitting from the left side. Edina is loaded with players from St. Olaf College. They've got all kinds of guys that played there or also have currently playing there. So they really have had a nice tie-in with the Olies. Nice breaking ball there. That's going to punch him ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You put that right on the outside corner there. Big open wide stance for Bartz. Down and away. No chance to get that fastball in the outside corner. And then he's going to ring him up for strike 3 there. Perfectly placed. Not much he could do with that. That'll bring up the third baseman, Brady Sand, for the East Sox. Brady kicking some sand around in the batter's box there as he gets ready to handle the Fuller offerings. Up and away. That one peeled foul and right off the mast that time at Joe Pierce. Doesn't seem any worse for wear, but he is going to take a little break and go out and talk to his pitcher there. Really nice still night here. It's overcast, not any wind to speak of per se. Didn't get the umpiring crew tonight, but 1-1 offering, a little high with that change right there. That'll push the count out to 2 balls and a strike. 2 down here, top of the second inning. No score in this first game. That one's popped up as well. I think Paulson will have room. Matt Paulson being called. Oh, Matt. That ball just fell harmlessly between the third baseman and the shortstop. It looked like Paulson had a beat on it all the way. But unfortunately, Mike Luck, I don't know if we have the replay of that, Paul. Mike, I don't know if Mike called him off or if Matt thought he did. But if you watch the replay here, Paulson's calling it all the way, and then he scoots out of the way. So even the guys at the Class A level can make a mistake once in a while. It doesn't just happen in the lower levels of baseball. Sand gets that in on the hands. That'll be just sawed off and thrown over from short to first, and a really nice stretch that time by Garvin as Mike delivered a nice strike over to first base, a little bit high. So that 6-3 putout will retire things, and that'll move us into the bottom of the second already. There you take a look at Luck. A little high throw, but Garvin goes up the ladder to make that putout. Nice work there. We should mention, as you take a look at the town team there, St. Louis Park, probably the second most successful town team baseball team in the state of Minnesota. As I mentioned, the 2002 and 2008 state champions are those guys from St. Louis Park. The Minnetonka Millers are kind of the cream of the crop of town team. But both of those years, St. Louis Park won. They finished runner-up this year in the Riverview League again to Minnetonka, which is a commonplace occurrence. And St. Louis Park is a feared offensive team and has plenty of good pitching as well, too. Left or right there, I think that was Ryan Fromm, one of the new young guys, as well as Mark Bierman. We mentioned earlier, Mark, a 2010 Park grad who is up at the University of North Dakota, which is a Division I school. And a lot of these guys have played really high-level Division II ball. And if you get a chance, there's Game 2 of this series. It's 2 out of 3. Game 2 will be Thursday night at Braemar. And if there is a Game 3, the deciding Game 3 would be Sunday night, August 4th, here at Keller. And there's a friend that might want to make it out to a couple more games. Maybe two friends there. As we're back to live action here. Lampert right on the corner as he starts things off, this time to Garvin, who made that nice stretch to end the top of the second inning. Trying to go up the ladder, that time is Lampert. Garvin on the year, stroking at a .352 rate. He's banged out 31 hits and 88 at-bats. 11 walks as well. Good on-base percentage. That one's peeled foul, and that'll go off the netting here. And we'll push the count to a ball and 2 strikes. 22 is the count. Want to hit the sand as well again that time. He did a nice job going down on that, but we haven't had a lot of rain lately, and that was a tough hop that got him. And it's a tough chance either way. But they're going to score that in error that time. The ball hit hard to third base. He did a nice job going down on one knee, but then he just couldn't find the ball. So, and that'll bring up Mark Bierman, as we talked about. Mark DHing today. Mark, as we mentioned, a 2010 Park grad. He played on that section runner-up team that St. Louis Park had. That was coached by Chad Ostad. He's got a couple home runs this year. He's all peeled foul out of play. This has got to be a nice time for him to get ready, get some at-bats before he heads back up to UND in Grand Forks. This is a tough matchup for him, lefty on lefty. Mark also an Edina resident, but he was open enrolled, I believe, at St. Louis Park. Tries to go in right on the hands that time, and Mark with a quick bat able to spoil that and keep it at 2 strikes. Nice job by Lampert executing that pitch as he went in the kitchen that time of Bierman. Mark on the year hitting .279, as I mentioned. He's got a couple homers. Looks like he's got about 14 hits and 43 at-bats. Again, he spoils that one, so Bierman and then Stennis up next for the Orioles. Getting some help from the faithful here to return the foul ball. Not a big crowd on hand, but everybody's got to help the way they can. So Parker Stennis in the on-deck circle for St. Louis Park. It's Garvin who reached on it first. The left-hander, he doesn't have a big lead over there. Breaking ball a little bit inside that time.
Good spot.
Good place to miss that time. He went inside there. Big hole on the right side. If Bierman can turn on something with the first baseman holding him, second baseman playing straight away. One peeled back again as well, says Bierman spoils that. So yeah, some other players not in the lineup that have St. Louis Park ties for Edina. Jacoby Currington-Meyer, who graduated last year, has been a big contributor for them. Saw him and had a chance to visit with him before the game. Danny Bissonette, the Orioles' assistant coach, also is a part-time player for them, and he's here today for the East Sox. So right on the corner as he painted that time, and a nice job. That's going to be a backdoor K for Bierman. He did a nice job battling, but he's going to be retired, and that'll bring up Parker Stennis, who just graduated this year from St. Louis Park. He was an all-conference player and left fielder for them. Just finished his Legion career. As we mentioned, he's heading to Concordia. A little down and in that time. Nice look at Parker there, right-handed batter, real strongly built. Also played quarterback for the Orioles football team last fall. Going up the ladder with that fastball. really like Park's uniforms. They're real classy. Diana's got some nice threads as well too. You know, they're pretty comfortable. Stennis wearing number 5. That ball hit hard to short, might be 2. The flip 6-4, and the throw is wide to first, and Stennis is going to make it down to second base. He's going to stay put there. So Stennis hits the ball hard to shortstop that time, but Nelson with a nice flip that time over to Lear, and then Lear relayed to throw to McDermott. Don't know if we have here's the replay here. Nice underhand flip by Nelson to Lear. Lear had enough time, but he threw that one low and away, and there was not much that McDermott could do. So Stennis on second. Technically he gets credited with a fielder's choice, and then an error on the throw gets him down to second. So 2 out, Stennis at second. That'll bring us back to the top of the order, and Mike Arlt. That one up and away. Arlt on the season, leading off today. I know a lot of times Duda was leading off. Arlt on this season hitting .286, and he's got nice on base percentage as he's coached 30 walks and 175 at bats. So you can see why he's up at setting the table at the top of the order. Ooh, and that one's hit fair down the line. It just eludes Garvin, and Stennis is going to round third and score the first run of the game that time. Kind of got a little bit in on the hands that time, but Arlt able to see the chalk fly as it just stayed fair barely, and Stennis, who reached on the fielder's choice and got to second on the throwing error, is rewarded for his hustle to get down to second, and that'll plate the first run of the game. So an RBI single that time. Don't know if you can see where the chalk is. It landed right outside the outstretched hands of Casey Garvin. And that'll be an RBI single for Mike, and it'll bring up Joe Pierce, who we got credited for a single on that little chopper down the third baseline. His first at bat that Lampert got a glove on, and probably feels like he should have made that play, but Lampert did a great job getting out of that. So quick throw over to first that time, and Arlt, who does have some good speed. Got 4 steals on the year. You don't see a lot of stolen bases in town team. Pierce leading the team with 6, and then Arlt with 4. We should mention too, with town team, it's not really like Legion or high school. A lot of times these guys have most of them have full-time jobs. Even the college guys are working during the day, and they don't have a lot of practice time. But teams like St. Louis Park, as we mentioned, almost had 50 games already on the season. So Joe not happy with that call. That'll push the count to a ball and a strike here. If you just joined us, this is men's Class A baseball. The first of a 3-game series, St. Louis Park against Edina. Nice move by Lampert as he redirects and throws over there to first. McDermott slaps the tag down, but just a tad late. Misses again with that breaking ball. Got plenty of giddy up on that fastball. I don't know officially how hard he throws, but to me it looks like he's in the mid-80s, and that's certainly why he's done well at St. Olaf as well. That one popped down the first baseline. It looks like it's going to fall. Oh, what a beautiful sliding catch by Nick Lear. I had no idea that he was going to be able to make that catch. I don't know if we have the replay, but Nick Lear flying right down the first base line from his second base position. And if you watch this, he's going to slide and grab that with his right. Didn't think he had a chance to get that. So if we had the web gems going today, it was a really nice sliding catch. Yeah, beautiful. So I didn't think he had a chance to get that, but indeed he does, and that's going to retire St. Louis Park. Mike Morris on hand, the long snapper, as we've got some dignitaries. Parker Stennis scores the first run of the game. His good hustle on that hard ground ball in the air, and St. Louis Park with a 1-0 lead. And we're going to step away momentarily here, but stay with us on Park 16. Don't you go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Betty White, and I'd like you to meet my friend here. This is Red. He's a puppy with a very special job to do. To be a guide dog for someone who is blind. Together they'll travel the world in safety and with confidence. Guide dogs for the blind provide their services free of charge, thanks to the generosity of people like you. Please visit guidedogs.com to learn how to help today.
All right, we're back here, top of the third inning. A nice chance for me to visit with some of the dignitaries on hand. Nice crowd on hand on this beautiful Tuesday night. As we mentioned, this is the first of a 3-game series. If you're watching the replay of this on either Wednesday or Thursday during the day, Game 2 will be at Braemar on Thursday night, August 1st. And then if there is a Game 3, that'll be back here at Keller on Sunday, August 4th at 7 p.m. That's Sunday, August 4th. You can go to the Town Team website, which is slptownteam.com. slptownteam.com. Stay abreast with all the Town Team developments. Some really funny write-ups on the players there as well. Well, leading off the top of the third inning this time. 6 up, 6 down so far, and here's Jack Sheppinger. Sheppinger, the catcher today. Going to peel that one foul, and Fuller, as he's been doing all day, getting ahead in the count, this time 0-2. McDermott on deck, and then Christian Erickson in the DH hole. Boy, he had some movement on that, and that ball is whacked foul. That's a long run out there. I don't know if anybody's going to get that one. Nice job spoiling it. Love to hear the crack of the wood bats, too. As we mentioned, the Riverview League fully went to wood bats in 2003. That one hit hard to third base. Paulson with a diving play, a pickup, and unable to follow through, but a beautiful dive on that play. That was reminiscent of I don't know, Corey Koski or Gary Gaetti in his prime. I don't know if you have the replay of that. It was hit like a laser. Yeah, Brooks Robinson. That was a beautiful play. So even at age 40, Matt Paulson diving at age 40 like that. So, and nice infield single for Sheppinger. And this is McDermott playing first base, wearing number 2 wide stance. Very open front foot here for the right-handed batter. That one hit to Paulson again as well, and that one is down low and gets right by him.
Here we go.
Would have been a tough chance as well. It was hit hard. So 2 balls hit hard towards third base will start the top of the third inning, and that'll bring up Christian Erickson, who, as we mentioned, he's a St. Louis Park grad who's just finished his sophomore year down at St. Olaf as well. So he was a good friend of Derek Keller and Bobby Otto and Scott Foltz. So Christian plays a lot of second base, I believe. See if they have him square around here. Indeed they do, and he bunts beautifully down the first base line. Missed on the tag. Well, I guess he did get him on the tag there. Beautiful sacrifice bunt that time by Erickson as he put it nicely down the first base line and made the right-handed fielding first baseman for St. Louis Park, Garvin, field that. I didn't know if he quick got him, but might have been 3 feet out of the strike zone. That sacrifice bunt is going to move up Sheppinger and McDermott to second and third and bring up the top of the order and Bobby Otto, as we mentioned. Bobby, a St. Louis Park grad. Bobby, a nice young man, really intelligent, right-handed stroker here. Fun for these guys to play back here, too. One popped mile high. I don't know if there's going to be room, and indeed that is going to fall away. Bobby officially 0 for 1 on the day, as he grounded out to short in his first at bat. Always Edina, always known for their green and yellow, be it the high school team or their youth teams or even their town team. Talking to one of their players, they've had a town team for about 15 years. A little down and away on that. Nice take that time by Otto. up and in there with that high gas, and it'll push the count to 2 balls and a strike on Otto. Second and third, 1 down on the nice sacrifice bunt. Those are the first 2 hits of the game. A little change up that faded down, and Otto up in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike with Lear on deck. If you just joined us, Class A baseball, Edina versus St. Louis Park, first of a 3-game series. This is the Riverview League playoffs. And a nice take again by Otto as he works a nice walk to load the bases for Lear. Lear, who made that really nice play down the first base line on number 18 there. We should mention Edina not only won the State Legion last year, but I know they have a good chance again this year, and their State Legion tournament will be this weekend out in Braemar. A light sprinkle starting to fall, and I might have to go for the windbreaker pretty soon. Bases are loaded, 1 down, 0-1 to Lear here. Don't know if they're looking for starting to rain a little bit harder here. A little low with that one, will push the count to a ball and a strike. If you just joined us, St. Louis Park played at a run in the bottom of the second inning off of a fielder's choice and a throwing error. Parker Stennis got to second, and he was singled in immediately after that by Mike Arnold for the first run of the game. Lear takes a strike 2 there, so a ball and 2 strikes to Lear. That one chopped to Paulson at third. Throw down to second. It's unfortunately thrown high and away. Carl Paulson with a nice job fielding that, but unfortunately a high throw to second base that time. And defensively, Lindstrom not able to make that catch on the high throw. So officially, we're going to have to call that an error, and a run does come in. And it's still going to be bases loaded still with 1 out. So Matt Paulson's had 3 balls already this inning. There's still only 1 down, and let's bring up the 3-hole hitter, Eric Nelson, who popped up to short his first at-bat. That one lasered to Paulson, and Paulson with the line drive catch at third, and then he beats, I believe he beats the runner barely at over there. So just a line shot to third base, and you see Paulson running, just takes the bag lightly there and able to record the 3rd out as he was able to plate McDermott there. So Nelson just with a line shot, 1 run officially for Edina that inning, and I have 2 hits officially along with a walk. And after 2.5 here, we're back knotted at 1-1. I should special shout out if you're watching this game. The St. Louis Park Little League teams recently finished their season, and the 9-year-old team, St. Louis Park had 2 9-year-old teams playing up in Crystal, and I wanted to give a shout out to Matt Farley and some of the crew on his team. Their 9-year-old team won, the St. Louis Park Black team won the championship in that tournament just last week, which I know the kids were thrilled to find out about and accomplish. And there you see a friend making his way up. It looks like he's got 2 collars there. He's got the green. Well, what a beautiful dog. Yeah, so bottom of the 3rd inning here. You can see the light rain falling, but he's not too worried about that. He's happy to be cooled off on a night like this. Gonna take a nice seat over there, I bet, somewhere. Oh, it looks like there's another dog over there too, so he might have a friend to join. Like somebody's got a hose out. Beautiful camera work by our crack staff here. And that'll bring up the man of the hour who got enough balls last inning for an entire game. This is Matt Paulson, the 3-hole hitter for Park, who hit that big double to right center, his first at bat. Wow, line shot to second this time. And he goes the same way again and lines out that time to Lear, who squeezes it for the first out of the inning. Just a line shot that time. That'll bring up Dave Lindstrom, who walked his first time up. So we mentioned Matt, probably one of the more feared hitters in the history of town team baseball statewide. Slindy takes strike one there. I got some of the, in his career, Matt's a .371 hitter. He's played 600 games of town team. If you can imagine, that's 12 to 15 years worth of games, and he's banged out 49 homers, 444 RBIs, so about 3 RBIs every 4 games. That'd be about 120 in a major league season. So Lindstrom with a tapper to third. Garvin going hard. Quick throw. Nice job that time by the E-Sox as they're able to squeeze it that time as Brady Sand goes over there and does a nice job throwing it over to McDermott on the put out there. So Sand and McDermott, and that's the second out here. And that'll bring up Mike Luck, who went down. Just take a look as Sand really followed through on that throw, and he really needed to because Lindstrom was really hauling down that first baseline. Take a look at Lampert there. A little light rain still falling here. 2 down. Bottom of the third inning. That one popped high on the infield as well. Oh, it might go fair. Ooh, it almost became a fair ball that time. That's why you don't often see that. The hitter, Arlt, was standing there, and the catcher, Schielinger, was trying to field that. So that'll retire St. Louis Park here in the bottom of the third inning. We're riding along through 3 here. Stick with us here on St. Louis Park Cable. We'll be right back.
Everyone needs a good night's sleep, but it's hard to sleep tight if you're worried about bed bugs. That's right, bed bugs are real as the threats posed by other household pests like roaches, rodents, and termites. Together, they contribute to illnesses like asthma and Lyme disease, major property damage, and contaminated food. To learn how to protect your home and family, visit pestworld.org. Because household pests shouldn't keep anyone up at night.
We are back in another of man's best friends with another blue collar over there, blue chain. I don't know if he's got a ribbon around his tuchus there or what that is, but as we get ready to enter the top of the 4th inning here, if you're just tuning in, this is men's Class A baseball. St. Louis Park against Edina, first of a 3-game series. There you see one of the Edina players. Obviously, his spouse probably brought both the dogs out. Couldn't have two more different looking animals than what they have there. All right, so for the top of the 4th inning, it's going to be 4, 5, 6. That's Schmiesing, Bartz, and Sand. Edina so far 1 run on 2 hits, a couple of misplays. St. Louis Park with a run on 3 hits and 1 error. Battle of lefties as Pete Fuller and Alex Lampert going at it heavy here. That one hit into right center and deep. We'll see if Duda can find that. Ooh, I believe a nice catch out there that almost shot itself over the fence in right center, but Mike Arlt with a nice catch out there. Duda was pursuing as well. And just where Paulson's ball was hit, almost the same exact spot. Probably about 335, 340 right out there. I think it says 345 on the fence. So a deep fly to right on the first out of the 4th inning. And here's Bartz playing left field today. Left-handed batter, slightly open stance. Nice line drive up the middle, and boy, did that hit something and power right through there. I don't think there was much that time that Mike Luck could have done, but that really hit a pebble or something and bounced about 8 feet up in the air. He really hit that one as well. Our camera people got to be ready tonight because there's not a lot of wasted time. One great thing about town team, these guys are up here to hit, and there's a lot of quality batters and pitchers as well, and a lot of contact. So that'll bring up Brady Sand. Brady went out short to first, his first at bat, and misses on that fastball down and away. Nice block that time. Good piece of work by Joe Pierce behind the dish. Joe doing almost all the catching for St. Louis Park. They don't have all the bios where a lot of the St. Louis Park guys went to school, but a lot of these guys have been playing together for a lot of years. Ball thrown over there.
Hey, get that uni dirty.
That one chopped hard. Oh, and it's bobbled that time. Unfortunately for St. Louis Park, right through the wickets there of Mike Luck, and that's going to make it first and second, and that's the second error of the game for St. Louis Park. It was almost a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. It was hit hard, but it looked like it just scooted through there at the end. So first and second because of the hit and the error, and that'll bring up the 7-hole hitter, the catcher Jack Sheehinger. He singled and came around to score the first run of the game for Edina. One out. 1-1. If you just joined us, these teams met last year in the Riverview playoffs. St. Louis Park is the 2 seed. I believe Edina is the 5 seed. I know they split during the season 2 games too, so. That one popped up high. Duda might have a play on that. Looks like a can of corn out in right field for Chris. And he'll squeeze that for the second out. Good swing that time. Not able to materialize for Schmeezing. And this will bring up McDermott, who also singled his last time up. That ball chopped. See if he has a read on it. Indeed he does. Is Luck able to scoot back and corral that for the third out? So the error doesn't materialize after the single, and officially no runs on 1 hit and 2 left. That'll put us through 3.5 here as we're still knotted at 1. Once again, if you're interested in following the town team in future years or the state tournament for men's Class A, I believe whoever wins this series will get a shot at a spot in the men's Class A state tournament, which I think is the weekend of the 10th, 11th, and 12th of August. We should mention that there is a home game also August 6th if you want to come out here to Keller. They're playing Blaine in a regular season game. So Tuesday, August 6th, if you don't have anything doing, the price is right. There's no price. It's free. We should mention, I've got a list of the lineup here, the roster for the rest of the St. Louis Park team. One of their new players that's really contributed a ton, Jimmy Heck, who just finished his freshman year at UMD and has been Old St. Margaret's grad in 2012, has really had been a nice addition to the roster. He's hitting .516 in only 7 games with, I believe, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And I just found out maybe about an hour ago that Benilde St. Margaret's Legion team, which qualified for the State Legion tournament this weekend out in Braemar. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the Legion State tournament is out there. There's 16 teams, and Edina, Eden Prairie, Mounds View, etc. all be taking place. St. Louis Park had 2 one-run games in their Legion playoffs, and that'll bring up Chris Duda to lead off the home half here of the 4th. Takes strike 1. Chris flew out his first at bat. Breaking ball. Chris really crowds the plate enormously, and year in and year out, I know he He pretty much leads the... That one down and away, a little chopper back to the mound. Lampert bobbles it for a second, but throws it out. That was a curveball that was fading down and away from Chris, and he just got a small piece of it and just chopped it back there. Chris has got a career, we should mention, we talked about Matt Paulson. Chris has got is a career 353 hitter in the town team. He's banged out 43 home runs in 551 games. Pat Fix, another Park grad, 326 lifetime batting average. Casey Garvin, who's at first today, 341 lifetime batting average. So, and Dave Lindstrom, who you're seeing, he's almost at 400 in his career. So it's been a team that can really score a lot of runs. Oh, a nice drop down on a bunt that time. Quick throw by Lampert and a beautiful job that time as he's gonna retire Garvin, who had a beautiful drop down on the bunt that time. What a beautiful bunt as well as a defensive play as Lampert charged hard off the mound, corralled that rightfully so with his hand, did not use the glove, and made a strike throw to first. Kids, if you're watching, make sure if you're fielding bunts, you're always picking them up with bare hand, because if he would have gone with the glove that time, he would have been shot down. So 2 up, 2 down quickly here in the bottom of the fourth. And that'll bring up Mark Bierman. Had a nice at bat, went down on a called third strike, but fouled off several pitches. Mark's really had some problems health-wise the last couple years up at the University of North Dakota, and is hoping he can put everything together and get back out on the field. He's had some shoulder and upper arm pain, but he's fine to swing the bat, and it's nice he's been able to DH and get some quality at bats this summer. Nice to have another lefty in the lineup as well. Yeah, St. Louis Park starting 4 St. Louis Park grads tonight. Edina starting 2. Up and away here. 2, I believe it's 2 and 1, but they've got it at 2 and 2. Oh, a nice curveball down and away that really, and that's going to retire Bierman for the 3rd out. You can imagine as a lefty, that's a really tough pitch for them to handle, and Lampert's got a nice smooth delivery that time. So we're through 4 here. We're knotted at 1. Don't go anywhere. This is game 1 of the Riverview League playoffs. St. Louis Park against Edina here on Park 16.
Hey, Joe, are you a male living in the United States or U.S. citizen overseas between the ages of 18 and 26? If you are required to register with the Selective Service System. Yes, you. Guys living in the United States and U.S. citizens abroad are required to register within 30 days before or 30 days after their 18th birthday. It's the law, and there are severe penalties if you don't register. However, registering with Selective Service ensures that you will remain eligible for student loans, government jobs, job training, and in many states, even your driver's license. More important than anything else, registering with Selective Service is a crucial part of becoming an adult and acknowledging your duties as an American citizen. It's simple and easy. You can register online at sss.gov or your local post office.
Here at Keller Field. If you just joined us, we're heading to the top of the 5th inning, and Christian Erickson leading it off for the E-Sox. Don't know the history of the E-Sox nickname there, but they do like the Edina E-Sox. I'm wondering if that has something to do with, I don't know, E-Sox, the internet or something. So a lot of guys just shaking hands, and nice inside fastball there to Erickson, taken for strike 1. Battle of a couple of lefties here as Fuller against Lampert. Both teams with a run and 3 hits through 4 innings.
Absolutely not this year.
Up the ladder that time to Christian. We mentioned Christian and Derek Keller were great friends, and I know that's got to be a thrill for him to play here and have the Derek Keller scoreboard up there. They grew up together. That one peeled foul, and there's going to be a souvenir that needs to be brought back to the home plate umpire. Pretty nice crowd, really. You know, we probably got 40 people here today, which isn't too bad. Tries to get him again to go fishing on that high fastball, but Christian lays off. Christian also a hockey player at St. Louis Park. I believe he played 3 years of varsity as well. That one hit towards right center field. Duda with a beat on it. And Duda, in about 3 feet out into the outfield, the right fielder comes in and makes the catch. Joined here by Mike Morris, the long snapper, and Matt Paulson really had a lot of balls that one inning. Boy, they had a lot of balls hit to him at third base. Nice to see him diving at age 40 like that, isn't it? Going right to left. I know. So Christian will pop out, and that'll bring up Bobby Otto. Here's Bobby, who officially 0 for 1. He got the nice walk last time. Was stranded. Leadoff hitter. Down and in. I know Bobby, I think he really enjoyed the playing for Chad Osted, and then the last year when McEachran took over, I think he really picked up some things, and he's getting ready to be a junior here at St. John's. Right on the inside corner, Fuller painting again that time. Just like a Picasso, he's got the canvas and he's painting at will here. That one shot backed up the middle. Bobby with good speed. And he's able to beat that out. And indeed, just a slight bobble is all it took. And Bobby Otto, a really good athlete here at St. Louis Park, is able to beat that out. So unfortunately for St. Louis Park, Dave Lindstrom with a slight bobble, but we're going to give that a single all the way. So Bobby Otto on again there. Why, just a tiny bobble. I don't even know if it was. So that'll bring up Nick Lear, who reached last time officially 0 for 2, but he hit a nice hard ball last time. Down in the dirt, nice job that time by the St. Louis Park as Joe Pierce able to block that. He's gotten a lot of work for St. Louis Park behind the dish. One down here. Battle of lefties. Ooh, and Bobby almost went off the base there as the throw went over from Fuller to Garvin. And don't know if we have a close-up replay of that. We probably don't, but Bobby almost like Kent Herbeck and Ron Gant in the '91 World Series. Nice lead for Otto over there at first. And again, Fuller going back there. Don't remember how many bases Bobby stole at St. Louis Park, but I remember he was a table setter at the top of the Oriole lineup. Again, he paints that outside corner. We're going to take it for a ball and a strike here. One down, top of the 5th inning, Otto on at first. Fuller just misses as he goes for that fastball, and that's going to take the count out to 2 balls and a strike here on Nick Lear. I believe he was also a hockey player at Edina. I think. Little high tag that time, Bobby. Good size lead. It's not easy for the any base runner to get a good read on different lefties. They have a variety of different moves. You got to watch that front foot and watch the direction of the toe. That ball peeled foul down the left field line. Stennis with a beat on it, but it is going to sail out of play. Parker doing some yeoman's work for, I believe, at the high school, too, this summer as he's helping Jessica Gust out with the strength and conditioning program. I know he's going to be working, I believe, with Mike Morris, the long snapper, the former Viking over at Concordia in their strength program, so I'm sure he's looking forward to that. 2-2 is the count. Otto with a nice read on that ground ball to third. Paulson will have only one play as he throws over to first, and unfortunately, Matt, a little bit on the short arm there, and Garvin is going to not able, he tried to keep his foot on the base, but unfortunately the throw sailed just a little bit, and unfortunately for St. Louis Park, it's going to make it a 1st and 3rd situation. Otto had a great jump there, and there wasn't a play on, and you can just see that Casey just with a slight stretch there, but he wasn't able to make it. So nothing that Fuller did wrong that time as he coaxed the ground ball, but Otto on it 3rd, Nick Lear on it 1st, and that'll bring up Eric Nelson, who had a line shot to left last time. Officially 0 for 2 as he popped out to short as well. 1 down, 1st and 3rd for the E-Sox. The train rumbles by in the distance. Oh, just misses that time. So 1-1. Let's see if Pete can stay down in the zone here and try to coax a double play ball here out of this scenario. Tries to go up and in there and just misses. Schmeezing on deck. This is Eric Nelson. We mentioned all the ties that the E-Sox have to St. Olaf. I'm not quite sure if that's just a pipeline that Edina's had historically. Ball chopped to 3rd, but that is going to be foul. Danny Bissonette, we should mention, has played 4 games for the E-Sox, the Orioles assistant baseball coach and head junior Legion coach. Connell right along here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if Lear's in motion here on a 2-2 with 1 out, or if they keep him put. It's kind of a normal sized lead over there. Ooh, almost takes the kneecaps off that time as Eric Nelson's going to work the count full, and I would expect Lear to be moving here with a full count, even though there is only 1 out. See if he gets any kind of read in what the sign is. Fuller looking over there. He's going to hesitate and go home, and that ball shot down the right field line. I believe that is going to be dropped fair, and that's going to be at least 2 bases, if not 3, as Bobby Otto scoots around to home, and they're going to hold him. They're going to hold up the rest of the crew there as Otto scores on the double by Eric Nelson. And a beautiful ball is placed perfectly down the right field line. Duda chasing that hard all the way. Nothing he could do about it, and Nick Lear advances all the way over to 3rd base. So Otto comes around to score the 2nd run of the game and put Edina up ahead. Just perfect placement down the right field line. And here's a tall drink of water, and Jack Schmeezing, he's officially 0 for 2. Orioles are going to play, looks like Casey Garvin up at the corner at 1st base, but Paulson's back, so Casey going to try to make sure he looks him back and gets the easy put out at 1st. 2-1 to score, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Ooh, nice swing. Swing and a miss that time. Down and in that time, we'll push the count to 2 balls and a strike. You just joined us again. This is Class A men's baseball. St. Louis Park versus Edina E-Sox, the Riverview playoffs. St. Louis Park is the 2 seed, Edina the 5 seed. St. Louis Park has won 2 state titles in 2002 and 2008. The ball peeled foul again. That'll push the count along to 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you've never come out to see Class A baseball, I think a lot of people will be amazed at the quality of the product out here. A lot of these guys, as we mentioned, played either Division 1, 2, or 3. Several of these guys keep themselves in really good shape in the off season as well. Fuller looks into Pierce. Up the ladder that time, and Schmeezing unable to catch up to the high fastball. So that'll be 2 down, still 2nd and 3rd, and this will bring up Andy Bartz, 1 for 2 on the day with a single, and Also a strikeout in the second inning. Paints the corner that time as Pierce set up away with the left-handed batter, and indeed he got him there. Infield back at first, second, and short. Paulson up a little bit at third here up on the grass. Not sure if he's expecting a bunt. He's not going to get one there, and that'll push the count to 0-2 here on Bart. So Fuller one pitch away from getting out of the inning. The error contributed obviously to that, and then the Eric Nelson push double down the right field line plated Bobby Otto, the second run of the game. That ball just faded down and away that time. Not sure if Pete cuts the ball a little bit, if he gets some movement on that as well, left to right. Oh, and a beautiful breaking ball, 0-2, and not a prayer that time. So really nice job for Fuller, able to strike out the last two batters with guys at second and third. One run does come in on the two hits, the Otto single as well as the Nelson double. That'll take us through 4.5 here as the Esox do go on here. As I was talking about earlier, Chris Duda, the player manager, gave me a lot of the all-time stats for the town team. We talked about Matt Paulson playing 600 games in his career with 49 homers and getting almost 3 RBIs out of every 4 games. Pat Fix, I just want to give a shout out to Pat. Pat is an 87 Park grad who still plays on occasion here. Park won the State Legion tournament in '87, and Pat was a big part of that. So he's got a lifetime 326 average. So also Chris Johnson, who played at Iowa State. Danny Bissonette joining us. Danny, what do you got to say?
Game. Pitchers do.
Hold on, I'm going to turn that over to Danny. So you happy so far the way things are going?
Yeah, no, we're hitting the ball hard. That's all you can ask for. Have them make plays. So let's see what happens here. Good pitchers doing.
Yeah, it really is. It's Danny Bissonette. He hasn't gotten in a lot of games this year for the Esox, but he can lend his expertise when called upon. That'll bring up Parker Stennis to lead off the St. Louis Park bottom of the 5th here. Parker scored the only run for St. Louis Park when he hit a hard ground ball to short, and Casey Garvin was retired on a fielder's choice, but then the second baseman Lear threw it away for an error. Lampert tries to paint on the down and away on that outside corner. Parker hitting around 270, 275, I think is what I've got, which is really good. Getting a lot of quality at bats. Oh, nice job on the breaking ball there. That's one thing. You're going to see a lot of 1-0 curveballs, change-ups. You don't often see that in high school. Another breaking ball down and in. Parker with a good take. Parker fills out that uniform strongly. Big, strong right-handed batter. Peeled foul that time. Nice job, fouled that straight back, timed it perfectly. Parker on the year, as I mentioned, hitting 271. He's got 4 RBIs on 13 hits, scored 8 runs, and has also drawn 5 walks. That time a little changeup faded down and away. So Parker got to see the whole arsenal, the fastball, a couple of curves, as well as a change there, and sometimes that's the hardest pitch to hit. That'll take us back to the top of the order, and Mike Arlt, who's batted twice in the game, does have a single, and he hit a little liner to first base as well. That ball hit hard to third. Nice chop that time by Brady Sand. He's going to gun it across the top. If you're just tuning in, well, one thing I really like about both the third basemen's play here today, Sand goes down on one knee here again to make sure he's got the play. When you're at third base, it is more of a reaction position. You do have a little more time. And it is the hot corner for a reason, and he made sure to go down and get that and made a nice strike throw across the diamond over to McDermott. That ball chopped to third again. Oh, and unfortunately that time, Brady mad at himself, but he had to go right to left on that ball. Hit off the tip of his glove. Easier play for the third baseman, but he's gonna. Joe Pierce reaches on that, and that'll bring up Matt Paulson. I bring up Paulson here. Matt is the line drive double to the fence in right center, and also lined out to second last time. And he's had a lot of balls at third base tonight as well. Lampert just shaving the corner that time. We mentioned Matt played at Northern Iowa. He also graduated in '91 from Park. He was a catcher in high school, and he caught Chad Osted, who's a math teacher at the high school now. Lampert throws over. Wow. There was an interesting scenario. Joe Pierce with the lead off of first base was picked off by Lampert, but the throw was late getting over to first. And by the time the throw came over to the first baseman, Joe had already beat it to second. So officially it's a stolen base that time. Put a runner in scoring position for Paulson. Little high breaking ball that time. If you take a look at Matt's setup position, Matt's also an instructor at the Hit Dog Academy. I know hitdog.net is their website. He's got a really open base on his stance. I always notice that a lot of times his right foot is almost at an angle towards the back of home plate. There's a breaking ball line down the right field line. Paulson on his horse. He's going to get 2 out of this, and that's going to plate the tying run of the game. So Matt Paulson with a nice piece of hitting. It's for the third time in the game. He goes down the right field line, and he plates Joe Pierce, who and knots the game. So even with his open stance down the right, he's got good arm extension, big, strong, and he lets the ball get deep into the plate, and he's able to shoot that with power. So here's Dave Lindstrom, who almost beat out a ball last time and has walked. Trying to pick up Matt back there, and he's able to get back. So yeah, Paulson and Fix are kind of I think, partners or involved in the Hit Dog Academy down in Chanhassen. Lindy with a nice cut straight back on it. If you just joined us, both teams with 2 runs on 4 hits. There has been a few more miscues than either team would want, but that happens sometimes with town team where there isn't as much practicing. Not easy on the weekday games for a lot of these guys too, who have full-time jobs and make it over here afterwards. That ball hit to center field, kind of medium deep that time. Shouldn't be a problem that time, and that ball squeezed away by Schmeezing. 1 run will come in on the Paulson double, and that'll knot the game at 2 here. Stick with us here. We're knotted at 2 after 5. Men's Class A baseball, St. Louis Park and Edina.
Hi, my name is Oshi Gray, and I just love California raisins.
At our house, we eat California raisins on our cereal for breakfast, out of hand for lunch, and as an after-school snack. I know they provide good nutrition for my family, and I'd like my friend Michelle to explain why.
As a registered dietitian and chef, I know Julie wants Ocean Ray and the rest of her family to lead healthy lives. And good health starts with good nutrition. What better way than with all-natural California raisins? They're fat and cholesterol-free, low in sodium, with no added sugar. They're simply fresh grapes, dried by the sun to concentrate their nutrients, providing sustained energy for active families like Julie's.
As much as Ocean Ray loves her California raisins, we may have a future champion on our hands.
We are back, and there is a nice young fan who was wheeled over and looks like a modern stroller, and he's got his nook in, and he's enjoying the action here. Top of the 6th inning here at Keller Field. Close battle all the way, and it is knotted at 2 here, and that'll bring up the number 5, Brady Sand, to lead off the top of the 6th inning. Sand officially 0 for 2 in the game. He did reach on an error last time. Gabe Fuller, Alex Lampert all the way, both teams. Really nice job then last inning for Fuller, as he was able to retire Schmiesing and Bartz on strikes, swinging strikeouts to stop a second and third jam with 1 out. Looks like he threw a little change up there. Kind of faded away down and out. A little up and away that time, and that'll make it 2-1. St. Louis Park did win their last game Tuesday. They beat the St. Anthony team 5-1 and had a 15-0 win over the Anoka Buccaneers. That ball peeled foul. Actually, Parks won 4 out of their last 5. They beat the River Rats 13-5, the Blue Sox 6-4, lost a 1-0 game to the Chaska Cubs. That ball hit to Paulson at third. He goes down on it. Matt with a nice throw over to first, and that'll retire Brady Sand and give Paulson another put out for the day. That'll bring up Sheehinger. Nice cut that time by Sheehinger. He's officially 1 for 2 with a single, and he flew out to Chris Duda in right field. Just paints that outer half to work ahead of 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sheppinger here. McDermott on Depp here. Fuller looks into Pierce again, shakes him off 1 time. The lefty with the high leg kick, down and away. That ball hit a little chopper to shortstop and a nice 6-3 put out. It's going to retire, Shepping. Nice job that time again by Luck as he throws it over to Garvin for the out, and that'll bring up McDermott, the first baseman. He's also 1 for 2 on the game with a single. St. Louis Park has players from all over the Minnesota, South Dakota. They've got Joe Pierce, the catcher, played at Augsburg. He's from St. Louis Park. We talked about Jimmy Heck at Benilde, who's played at UMD and did well as a freshman. Talked about Bierman. Chris Duda, we talked about him at Concordia. Lindstrom is a Robbinsdale graduate who played baseball at Texas Tech, which is Division I. About all 3 gentlemen pursue that nicely in the foul ground there, but they just run out of real estate. Well, the count will ride along at no balls and 2 strikes here. That was pop, kind of slightly, not really a high pop up, but all 3 guys, Pierce and Fuller as well as Garvin pursued, but nobody could get a read on it. Garvin played at St. Thomas as well. And Pete Fuller, I know it says his hometown St. Louis Park, and that he played at Marist. I think that's from out east somewhere. I'll have to check that out. So a lot of ties to the St. Louis Park community. That ball just chopped Parker Stenison left, and he's going to have his first chance of the day, and that'll retire the East Sox quickly in the top of the 6th. Been a pretty quick game here. We're through 5.5 already. Just a reminder that these are 9-inning games here in men's Class A town team action. And the winner of this series will go on to the state Class A tournament, which I believe, as I mentioned, was the 10th and 11th and 12th in Bloomington. Lampert out again for the bottom of the 6th inning, as both starters still in there. Both guys have surrendered just 4 hits through the routine. Haven't always had the greatest defense behind them, but they've made do. St. Louis Park going to, one of the things I wanted to throw out, they have had some really good starting pitching. Take a look at some of the guys there. There's Bierman and Fromm and Stennis and Paulson, all enjoying the fruits of their labor. Putting the sunflower seeds away. We should mention on the year, Jensen 3-0 on the hill with a .67 ERA for St. Louis Park. Gabe Eicham, who we haven't really talked to, he's a Mounds View graduate. Gabe on the year, again having a really nice year, 6-2 in 49 innings with a 2.02 ERA. Johnny Galise, as we talked about, 6-1 on the year with a 2.26. He's a 2011 Park grad who's at Augsburg, so. Nice slow breaking ball at the knees and nicely gets it over to work ahead. Plenty of life on that Lampert fastball still here. Mike Luck, the shortstop. This is down with that slow curve. Looks like he has a couple of different speeds on his curveball as well, as what I noticed back here. He likes to work far from the third base side of the rubber here. There's another breaking ball, going to get him with another called strike. 2-2 on Luck here. The ball hit hard towards short. Scooped up that time, and a nice 6-3 put out that time by Nelson as he pushes it over to McDermott. And that'll push Vega 1 out, and that'll bring up Chris Duda. Duda 0 for 2 on the game. Couple of pop-ups, one to short and one to second base. Whoa, right up by the helmet that time. A little chin music, and Chris is used to being hit, so he wasn't even fazed by that. So Casey Garvin in the on-deck circle for St. Louis Park. Umpire talking to Chris that time saying, "Hey, Chris, I see you got some long facial hair. That was a close shave you took there." A little close shave there. I'm not one to comment on the facial hair. I've got to get some cuttage too as well. So 3-0 to Duda here. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. Right on the inside corner with a fastball, putting it at 3-1. Some activity in the Oriole bullpen. Not sure he's just getting some work in, and I can't quite get the number down there. That ball peeled foul and away out behind us here. Connell right along at 3-2. A very still night here. No wind to speak of. We did have a little rain earlier, but that's peeled away. Curve ball is going to be laced into center field. Nice effort that time. I believe they're going to call that a great effort by the center fielder there, time. Absolutely, as Jack Schmiesing laid fully out there. I thought all along that was going to be a single, but he really gained a lot of ground on it and almost made a Carlos Gomez type play. Just dove. That'll bring up Garvin, the first baseman. He officially 0 for 2 as well. So Duda reaches with a 1-out single to right, or to left center, excuse me. Lampert missing again. We mentioned Alex just finished his second year at St. Olaf. Big part of the Edina Legion State Championship team last year. Nice little pickoff move over to first, and Duda's not sure what's going on here. We've got a ball out on the field from the bullpen, so not sure who's coming in. We've got a stocky right-hander that's warming up in the Convict bullpen. If you just joined us, St. Louis Park. Nice swing on the changeup and a miss. You just joined us. Matt Paulson told me before the game that the team nickname is officially going to be the Convicts. So it's the St. Louis Park Convicts against the Edina ESOC. So pickoff attempt again over there. Nothing going. Pitch count's pretty good for both guys. Don't have my official number, but I'll try to tabulate at the end of the inning. Tries to paint right on the outside corner as well there. So Garvin down a ball and 2 strikes. So he took that fastball, Casey. Bierman on deck, and then Stennis. Some of the other guys on the team we haven't seen tonight. Mike Willman, who pitched at Armstrong and is at Augustana. George Jensen, Teddy Pasteurs, Jared Carlson. And a swing and a miss on that curve. Another nice job with another strikeout that time. Second out, and that'll bring up Mark Bierman, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. That's officially the 6th strikeout of the night so far. So, and St. Louis Park, a good hitting team, so he's done a nice job there. Right on the corner there as he paints strike 1. Tough matchup for any lefty. The lefty on lefty here. Seems to me a lot of times that left-handed pitchers have a lot of funk a lot of times to their delivery. Pickoff attempt. Kind of hard to read Lampert there too, because I try to follow his right leg to see if he does do a good job pointing over to first base before he makes his move, but it's hard for me to follow his knee and what direction he's going, but haven't had any balk calls or any warnings. There's a curveball down and away again. 0-2 with 2 down here. We'll see if Duda stays put. So quiet you could hear a pin drop here. Up and away that time. There's another breaking ball down in the dirt that time. Oh, a smart pitch in there too. He was ahead of him on breaking balls and he just went a little bit further outside and down. So for St. Louis Park, no runs on 1 hit, 1 left, and we're through 6 here at Keller Field. Men's Class A baseball, game 1 of the 3-game series in the Riverview League. Stick with us. We'll be right back here on Park 16.
Engine.
Check.
Thrusters.
Check.
Fuel.
Check.
Computers.
Check.
Social Security.
No check, go direct.
That's right, Patty. A few weeks ago, I went online to godirect.org to sign up for direct deposit. It's easy to do, and I got my cash at warp speed.
Wow, it's fast and easy. I'll sign up right now to make sure I'm prepared for our next mission.
We are back, and a nice shot of the Edina dugout there is one of the tools of the trade, of batting helmet. Pierce tie above the dugout here. We do have a pitching change for St. Louis Park, as Pete Fuller will leave the game after doing yeoman's work through 6 innings, and he's been relieved here by the right-hander Ryan Heaslip. Ryan on the year of 57 innings for the right-hander, 31 strikeouts, 12 walks, a 3.79 ERA. Kind of got a Juan Berenguer type delivery and kind of a little shorter. I believe he played a little bit at Hutchinson Community College in Kansas, and he's from St. Paul, also a switch hitter. So good thinking there. Fuller threw quite a few pitches there as he had to work around some errors, 4 St. Louis Park errors so far in the game. Leading off for Edina, top of the 7th inning, this will be Christian Erickson, officially 0 for 1 with that beautiful sacrifice bunt in the first at bat, and then he popped a second. That ball chopped up the middle, going to be a tough play. Nice job that time on the 6-3 putout as well for St. Louis Park. They had good defense that time as Mike Luck again over to Garvin. That ball was chopped hard, and Erickson's got good wheels. But a nice 6-3 putout retires the 9th place hitter, and that'll take us back to the top of the order. And Bobby Otto, who's reached base 2 times with a single, a walk, and a ground out, scored the second Edina run in the 5th inning. He slipped a little bit of a side armor. It looks like he comes at them a little bit from the first base side. He'd be really tough if he was on the third base side throwing from the side like that. But he's really, he's definitely more of a straight, 2/3 side armor, etc. Gonna warm up a baseball there, rub another one. As a train motors through here. The train going by, I keep thinking about the whole light rail situation in St. Louis Park and what's going to happen with that. So, ooh, Otto right on the corner that time, taken for a strike. 0-2 here from Heaslip. Ryan officially on the year has started 9 of the 12 games, so he's been in relief 3 times. Oh, curveball fades down and away that time. Seems like he's got some pretty good control. Only 12 walks in 57 innings. That's pretty darn good. That one in on the hands. Count will ride along at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bobby. Oh, he's hit. Almost like a changeup, or I don't know if that was a slider that he threw, but 2-2. Bobby just got a small piece of it. Excuse me, full count now. They took it. Heaslip. He's got the goggles on there. Right on the. Wow, that's a tough.
Way downstairs.
Would have been a tough pitch to do anything with. It really was right on the corner, down and away that time. So first strikeout for Heaslip, and that'll bring up Nick Lear, officially 0-for-3 on the game, but he's reached base twice on a couple of St. Louis Park misplays. So ball chopped to third. Paulson ranging to his left with a nice plant and a nice throw over to Garvin. So Matt Paulson getting plenty of work for those 40-year-old hamstrings out there. Yeah, I don't know how many guys are older than Matt playing in the Class A league, but so that'll take us to the bottom of the 7th. I don't know if we have anybody to sing the 7th inning stretch, and I'm not ready to do it, Paul, but take me out to the ball game. It's been a nice, relatively quickly played game here. We mentioned if you're just tuning in, this is men's Class A baseball, the Riverview League, which I think most people think is the best league in the state. Minnetonka Millers pretty much year in, year out are, either winning the state or right up there. They're loaded with a lot of Division I and II players and former Gophers, etc. And I know Park had a close game with them about 10 days ago. They lost 3-1, and John Galise pitched a really nice game for St. Louis Park. And if you do want to get a copy of this game, thank you for putting that up, Paul. You can go to ParkTV.org to watch any of the live web streaming on demand. ParkTV.org. Tell your friends you don't have to have cable. We want you to have cable. Well, you can always call Paul at 952-924-2635. If you want to buy a copy of the game, it's $15 for a DVD. If you buy 3 or more, they're $10 a piece. And let Paul know any feedback you have on the programming or anything you'd like to see. This is Parker Stennis to lead off for St. Louis Park, the left fielder. Lampert's still humming in there here in the bottom of the 7th inning as he's coming at him with good speed. Parker officially 0 for 2 on the day. He did score the first St. Louis Park run. Curveball hit into right center. Shouldn't be a problem for Schmiesing, and he does put the squeeze on it. You could hear the guys calling for it there. Parker going to be retired, and that'll bring up Mike Arlt. Mike officially 1 for 3 on the day. He did knock in Parker Stennis with the first run of the game on a single back in the 2nd inning. Take a look at Mike there. He's got the left elbow wrap, and he peels that one foul out of play. Big, stocky, strong, athletic build. Little check swing, and Lampert fielding his position beautifully. That ball was hit with a little bit of oof, even though it was a check swing. And that's going to be 2 outs. Nicely done, and that'll bring up Joe Pierce. So Lampert, as we mentioned, 6 Ks on the day. I think he's only got 1 walk as well. So really good control again too. Both guys did too. I think Fuller didn't walk anybody in his 6 innings, so it's one of the reasons the game's moving along so fast when you don't put anybody on. So this is Joe Pierce here with 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. Curveball whacked hard to third. Garvin with a chutzpah play and a nice job over to first. A beautiful 5-3 put out that time, by Brady Sand. Brady Sand really came up huge on that line drive. He stayed really nicely down on the ball that time, and that's going to take us through 7 innings. If you're just joining us, we're going 9 tonight. We might have to go more if nobody doesn't get on the board, but we're knotted at 2 here. Riverview League playoffs, men's town team. Stay with us.
Ah, the comforts of home, of gathering around a meal, spending time with loved ones in a safe, warm place. Millions would love to live in a house just like yours. Maybe they already do. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
For high school, or yeah, he's not pitching today, but he's on the town team. Yeah. All right, we are back here. As if you just joined us, both the games knotted at 2. First game of the best of 3 series here in the Riverview League. And for the East Sox, as we head to the top of the 8th inning, we are going to be 3, 4, 5 in their lineup as Nelson, Schmiesing, and Bartz. Nelson hit a line shot In his second at bat, that was caught by Stennis in left field, and then last time up, he hit the triple right down the right field line that plated Bobby Otto with the second run of the game. He ended up getting stranded at second base, and Nick Lear got stranded at third. So bring up Nelson again here. Heaslip in his second inning of work just paints on that inside corner with a fastball. We mentioned he's a sidewinder. If you get a chance to watch him, he's on the first base side as you watch his delivery, but he really, that ball hit hard to Paulson. He stays down on it, throw over to first. Pretty easy play that time on the 5-3 put out for Paulson. He's, I don't know how many, but I believe that's 7 balls he's had already today. So cleanup hitter for Edina for the East Sox, Jack Schmeezing, 0 for 3 on the day. Jack last time struck out swinging. Heaslip gets ahead there with the fastball. Works inside again with that fastball. Pushes the count to 0-2. We mentioned Heaslip with excellent control. You got to believe a lot of these guys know that they're going to get a lot of strikes. And there's a little slider or curveball. I couldn't quite tell, but it's peeled foul. No play for Duda down there as he makes a bid on it down the right field line. Really nice night for baseball here. Probably about 65, 70 degrees. Not a little, some clouds in the sky, but really nice weather, and the rain held off. Kind of strange, there's not even a lick of wind, so. 0-2 the count here. Heaslip looks into Pierce. That ball chopped right back to Heaslip. A little put out over to first base, and just like his pitching counterpart, Alex Lampert, fielding his position quite nicely, and that'll bring up Andy Bartz. Andy 1 for 3 on the day with a single. Works ahead again, 0-1. What's been the modus operandi? 5 up, 5 down so far for Ryan Heaslip. He just paints on that corner again, so if he's going to get that pitch, that's a tough call. 0-2 the count here, 2 down in the 8th. Boy, and he gets him that time. I think he threw the changeup. Strike 3, and that's going to be a 3 up, 3 down snap or mow him down inning again for Heaslip. 6 up, 6 down for him. We're going to head to the bottom of the 8th inning, and as we do, I'm going to kind of go over a few little goodies that Chris Duda gave me. The St. Louis Park Town team was refounded, I should say, in 1989 by a friend of mine, Matt Colford, who pitched at St. Thomas and is from St. Louis Park here. There had been a town team earlier in the 80s that was set up by Gene Berg. But in the I believe this is the 25th year of the town team reincarnated. And over those years, you've seen a lot of good ball players come through here. Chris Duda is the all-time leader on a season basis in runs, as he scored 54 runs one inning, or one year. And then most home runs in a season, Dave Lindstrom bagged 12 home runs in the 2008 season, and then he followed it up with 11 in 2009. Chris Johnson also up there on the leaderboard twice. And Chris Johnson, 2008 season, most RBIs, 56 on the year. He's in 3 of the 5 top leader lists. And then Chris Duda, in 2002, when he, I believe, was after his sophomore year at Concordia, 18 stolen bases and a whopping 30 hit by pitches in the 2006 season. And then he had 22 last year, but he really stands on top of the plate. So if you see a lot of marks on Chris's shoulders or thighs, you'll know that's because he crowds the plate a lot. 3, 4, 5. This is Paulson, Lindstrom, and Luck for the Orioles. Paulson again pushing it towards right field. That's going to sail out of play. Matt's hit everything over that way today. He's got 2 doubles, an RBI, and he also lined out to second base. Good cut that time. Matt, 0-2 in the count. Lampert just cruising right along here. He's already in his 8th inning of work. As we mentioned, he's only got 1 walk on the day. He has retired the last 5 batters, and he's retired 8 of the last 9. I believe both St. Louis Park runs are unearned, too, because of Edina errors. There's a breaking ball. Chopped to short. Paulson hauling down the first baseline. And they're going to say that he caught it and he dropped it coming out with the throw, or trying to pull the ball out of the glove. So Paulson retired on the check swing 6-3 roller, but he was hustling all the way. Nice job by Nelson to corral that, and that'll bring up Dave Lindstrom. Officially 0 for 2 on the day. Still plenty of giddy up on the Lampert fastball. Little change up, just misses, I guess, inside. Pushes the count to 2 balls and a strike. 2 runs on 5 hits for St. Louis Park. 2 runs on 4 hits for the East Sox. Just missed with that pitch to push the count to 3-1. Looked like Lindy tried to sell that one to get the free ride, and that'll push the count to a full count here. I mentioned only 1 walk on the day, and I believe that is the 2nd full count, so not a lot of 3-ball counts either. That ball popped up short center field. Actually, Lear, the second baseman, going to call that and squeeze that for out number 2. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the game's moving right along, and here's Mike Luck, 0 for 3 on the day, the shortstop. Ball inside. Haven't heard officially who's going to be the Game 2 starters, but once again, Game 2 of this series will be Thursday night at Braemar. Thursday night, August 1st. And then if there is a third game... Oh, did it get switched? Oh, then it did get switched. Okay. Okay, I guess Game 2 is here tomorrow as well. So August 1st, tomorrow, if you're watching this broadcast on Wednesday, Game 2 of the series will be here. Apologize, I had a printout that showed it was at Braemar on Thursday. I'm not sure how that changes Game 3, but there's a swing and a miss to 2-2. Just go to slptownteam.com. That's slptownteam.com, and they'll have the... Still Sunday. Is it at Braemar now?
No, that's the Legion.
Oh, okay. So Game 3, I'm getting all kinds of information from Rob Lear here, which helps me because I had the printout. So Game 2 tomorrow night, and then if there is a need for a Game 3, it'll be Sunday night, August 4th, here at Keller. And then once again, St. Louis Park also home next Tuesday, August 6th. Little high ball hit to short. Going to go through the wickets that time, and Luck is going to reach on that error. 4th error of the day for Edina to go with St. Louis Park's 4 as well. Nothing Lampert did a nice job dealing with that at bat as well, and that'll bring up Chris Duda, who reached on a ball he hit towards left center field last at bat, which the center fielder Schmeezing made a great effort on and almost made a circus catch. It looked like he might have caught it, but hard for us to tell here. So 2 down, Luck at first as a result of the error. That ball hit into left field, should be relatively easy and playable for the left fielder out there, and indeed it is. And we're moving right along. We're knotted at 2. 2-2 after 8 innings here. We're heading to the 9th inning. Still up in the air, anybody's ball game. Stick with us here on Park 16. We'll be right back. That's right, the Forest Lake beat them out. Wow. And they are a good team, too. All right, we're back here in for the 9th inning here. It looks like we got some softball players who are enjoying a alcoholic refreshment down the left field line and taking part in the enjoyment of the game. A lot of softball being played around St. Louis Park and all the metro area here. A lot of the leagues will be starting up actually fall leagues pretty soon as we enter the month of August in another 2 days here. So we heading into the 9th inning here. And leading it off, Brady Sand, the third baseman, who as well has had a lot of work over at third base. Brady, 0 for 3 officially. He did reach on a hard ground ball that was misplayed by St. Louis Park. He slept 6 up, 6 down for him so far. He's got seems like he gets, even though it's a sidewinder, it seems like somehow he gets a little drop or a little sink off that pitch because a lot of guys are swinging on top of that. Keeping it down in the zone. Yeah, only 2 walks combined in this game between Lampert and the St. Louis Park pitchers. You just can't beat that. Sam's not going to like that call. It might have been a tad inside, but ball and 2 strikes is the count. That ball hit hard into this hole there. Bobble momentarily. Nice throw over to first and a beautiful follow through on the play in Garvin with the nice stretch as well. And for Mike Luck, he had to go backhand into the hole that time. He made a nice backhanded play, and then when he released the throw after the momentary drop, he really had to gun it over there, and Garvin with a nice stretch. That's the only way Brady Sand could be retired on that. So 6-3 to start the 9th inning, 1 out.
Come on, Shaq.
And here's Scheppinger. Inside ball rolled towards second base. Lindstrom going to his right, able to make a nice put out on a 4-3 there. And 8 up and 8 down so far for Heaslop in his relief work. He's not even, I believe he's only thrown 23 pitches to get 8 outs. So, so that'll bring up McDermott here. McDermott officially 1 for 3. Stranded at third base in the 3rd inning. He and Scheppinger got moved over to second and third by a sacrifice bunt by Erickson, and Scheppinger was knocked in. Or Nick Lear moved him around on a ground ball, and he ended up scoring. So 0-1. Not a lot of noise here. A very quiet, a little low that time. Very quiet, cerebral crowd we have. A lot of baseball groupies in the attendance tonight. Count myself as one of those. That time looks like he went to the breaking ball to get ahead a ball and 2 strikes. Seems to have good vertical control of the strike zone. And that ball, nice job going down to get that. That was about knee high, and that ball's lined into left field. Nice solid single by McDermott, his 2nd hit of the game. 5th hit for Edina. And that'll bring up Christian Erickson, officially 0 for 2, DHing. We mentioned Christian graduated from St. Louis Park a couple years ago and is down at St. Olaf. Saw his mom and dad in attendance today. We're going to have a courtesy runner. Looks like Jacoby Currington-Meyer going to run, and I know he's got great wheels from his days as a starting quarterback at Park and also playing varsity baseball and center field and pitching for St. Louis Park. So we'll see here what the modus operandi is. As 2 down, Jacoby going on the first pitch. Ball peeled away by Christian Erickson. So you go to the courtesy, you go to the pinch runner, and you get, I don't know how much time you had to warm up, but get him running. Get him. He's a young guy. He's got good legs. See if he slip throws over again. Big lead by Currington-Meyer. Yeah, he's got to go there. Luckily, Currington-Meyer did the right thing diving in that time. Nice camera shot that time. You can see Jacoby diving to the backside of the bag there, reaching it with his right hand. That ball hit chop towards shortstop. Kicks off as well, and everybody's going to be safe as that ball kicks up that time on luck. And the luck was with Christian Erickson that time as the ball bopped up on him. So first and second with 2 down here. Good speed with Currington-Meyer at second. And you've got 3 former Park players in Currington-Meyer, Erickson, and now Bobby Otto, who officially on the day 1 for 3, but he's got a walk, a single, and scored a run. Leadoff hitter. Bobby also has very good speed. Take a look at Heaslip there. McDermott went down with 2 outs, went down and hammered a low fastball into left center. And then Currington-Meyer pinch ran for him, and then Erickson hit the ball, the chopper to short. Mosquitoes are starting to come out tonight, and they seem to like me just fine. Right at the knees that time. Count will move to a ball and 2 strikes to Otto. Curveball, and Otto's able to hang in on that thing. Ball and 2 strikes. With that sidearm delivery too, when he goes to that curveball, that's a tall order for a right-handed batter just to make contact. He just joined us. We're top of the 9th inning, game 1 of the Riverview League playoffs, St. Louis Park and Edina. And he gets him that time with the fastball. So good cut that time by Bobby. And we are through 8.5. St. Louis Park coming to bat here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Both teams with identical line scores. You don't often see that through 8.5. 2 runs on 5 hits and 4 errors for both teams. For St. Louis Park, believe they're going to have Garvin, Bierman, and Stennis up here as Coach Duda kind of corralling the guys. I know Matt Paulson was the manager for a lot of years. Take a look. I don't know what kind of, when you're dealing with adults, you don't have to give them a lot of inspirational speeches. These guys have played hundreds of games, some of them. As we mentioned, Paulson had 600 games, and Duda with 550, Lindstrom. The guys mentioned that this might have been the first game that's been televised for Town Team, and with their state championships in 2002 and 2008 for St. Louis Park, if you have not had a chance to watch some of the action down here, it really is worth the night out. You just go to slptownteam.com. And Paul, let's flash the graphic again. If you want to buy a copy of today's game, Go to parktv.org, or call that 952-924-2635 number. Tell everybody that it's $15 for a DVD, or if you get 3 or more, they're $10 a piece. So hope you'll take advantage of it because we don't often have these games on. And that'll bring up Mr. Garvin, 0 for 3 to lead off the 9th inning. Garvin, Bierman, and Stennis. Looks like Fromm is going to bat for Bierman next. Take this time. Ooh, that baby is cracked foul. Is cracked on a broken bat, and that ball, is going to be safe. Brady Sand fielded that. The part of the bat cracked off and broke and threw toward shortstop. Brady fielded that nicely and threw to first, but the throw was a little bit wide, as you see here. Nice job. I'm not sure if he was out or not. It was a close bang play. But you got to tip your hat to Alex Lampert. He hasn't had always the best defense behind him, nor have St. Louis Park, but he's done a great job, and that'll bring up Ryan Fromm pinch hitting for Bierman. Fromm, like Stennis, also just graduated from St. Louis Park High School. He's going to South Dakota State, a Division I school, to pitch this fall. But he's also played a lot of Legion and third base and shortstop through the Orioles system. He did look like he was offering at a bunt. Oh, nice job that time by the pitcher, Alex Lampert. Knew he was going to square around a bunt, and he threw a real high fastball. From had the bat out, unable to pull it back. So ball bunted hard towards second. Lampert, almost looked there, but indeed nicely Fromm at least able to get the bunt down. Lampert looked momentarily at short. But that sac bunt is going to allow Parker Stennis a chance to be the hero here, as Garvin on second, only one down. There you see there. The small stuff is such a big part of playoff baseball here. So Stennis on the day, 0 for 2. He did score the Orioles' first run. Little curveball fades in there. The mosquitoes are out in force here. Yeah, I wish I had something to spray them. So 0-1, play at second, ball thrown away that time, but Lear able to stop that as it doesn't scoot too far. So, like I said, I thought for a second Lampert would maybe go to second base that time, but Fromm executed the bunt a little bit more towards the pitcher's mound than he wanted. I'm not sure if Stennis with a chopper up the middle. This is not going to be an easy play. Quick throw, though, and a nice job retiring him as the shortstop that time, Eric Nelson. Boy, did he wheel on that play and make a nice 6-3 put out for the second out. I don't know if we have that fully. It was like a Texas League chop, and he had to get rid of that really fast because Stennis was really hauling down the line, too. You can see it was a bang play. So winning run at third with 2 outs now, and Mike Arlt officially 1 for 4. He knocked in the game's first run. He's the leadoff hitter for... He's gone all the way, Alex Lampert. I have to find out after the game how Alex did this year at St. Olaf. I'm sure he did real well, and yeah. I understand he had the best. I've got a crack member of the staff here telling me that Alex led the Olies in ERA, which isn't a surprise after how he did as a freshman and last summer with Edina's Legion team, too. I've just been so impressed. He's only walked 1 batter, only 2 walks combined between the 2 teams in a 9-inning game. That's great. Right there again. Falls down 3-0, and he's able to work it right over. 3-1 to Arlt. Ball chopped right back to Lampert. Bad hop there, but he sticks with it and two-hands it for the night. So Alex Lambert goes 9 innings, only allows 2 unearned runs. So nothing earned off Lampert today. So the Esox got to feel great about that. And we're going to head to the 10th inning, and I know that's something Paul Broden really likes when we go extra innings, right, Paul? Well, at least it's been a fastly played game here. We're going to see some changes, I think, possibly. Not sure exactly who's, well, maybe not. Just some guys getting some work in over there, it looks like. Looks like Fromm's going to throw down in the bullpen down there. Heaslip, though, has done a nice job. He's had 3 innings of work for St. Louis Park. We mentioned the first, looks like the first 8 guys he retired in order on about 23 pitches. Then he gave up a single and an error, so he's certainly got a lot of life left in that arm since he started 9 games on this season. If you just joined us, Game 2 of this series, I've been informed, is now going to be played tomorrow night. Excuse me, July 31st here on Wednesday evening at Derek Keller Field. And then if there is the need for a deciding Game 3, that would be back here on Sunday, August 4th as well. I believe that's a 7 p.m. start time if that occurs. So a lot of zeros on the board. We've got 2 runs on 4 hits and 5 errors for Edina. 2 runs on 5 hits and 5 errors for St. Louis Park. So I'll give a shout out to Paul, to give a shout out to both of our camera people working up top today here. I know with the mosquitoes coming out, it's been a well-played game and entertaining, but they're taking a bite out of our camera people as well. Heaslip delivers strike 1 that time to Lear. Lear offered like he was going to bunt, squared around, but he pulled it back. Top of the 10th inning here, Game 1 of the Riverview League playoff series. It's win or go home in this series. Whoever wins. Heaslip delivers, and that ball's popped towards center field. Just a routine fly that time, and indeed for St. Louis Park, a nice put away that time by Arlt. So Lear flies to center for the first out in the 10th inning. That'll bring up Eric Nelson. Eric Nelson officially 1 for 3. He's got a triple, and he's got contact in all of his at-bats. That ball popped up. Should be an easy play for the catcher, Pierce, and indeed it is. So Joe squeezes that, and on 3 pitches, we've got 2 out, or excuse me, 3 pitches, we've got 2 outs in the 10th inning. And Schmeezing is back at it. So he slept just what the doctor ordered in terms of strike throwing, the defense right on its heels there. I mentioned he had a 3.79 ERA during the season. Gave up about a hit an inning, but he really looks on his game. Again, another strike. It just starts everyone off with a strike. Boy, really impressive. Nice swing and a miss as that ball drops out of the strike zone as well. Tough guy to get a read on here. So 2 outs, 0-2 is the count. Not sure how many years Heaslip has been with the St. Louis Park program, but glad he's got a little video, hopefully, of this to look back on. Boy, he sawed him off that time. Little chopper to Paulson at third. Oh, a bang play at first. Paulson had to really come deep from his third base position to charge that and made a nice strong throw over to Garvin to retire him. It was, there we had the play on the Fromm bunt from last inning. But as we're heading to the bottom of the 10th inning, you can see it's getting real dark out here tonight. I don't know officially. This game started right around 7 o'clock. It's 9:11. Actually, wouldn't this be great if a major league game could be in the 10th inning after 2 hours and 10 minutes? So it's good quick half inning. We're finally going to have Lampert out of the game, and I'll see if I can find out anything about this right-hander who's now in the game for Edina. Looks like it's number 5, and he's got a good arm. Oh, Brady Sand is now pitching. So Brady Sand, who was at third, is now on the hill, the tall right-hander. I believe that's number 5, yep. He seems like he's got a good arm. I'll try to find out if we can get a shot of the third baseman too, Paul. That's somebody new in at third. And I love those. Look at the old socks that he's got on. Those stirrups. You never see people wearing stirrups anymore. That's back in the 60s, 70s. Look at those stirrups. Nice work there. Number 24, I'll see if I can find out who that is later. So making a fashion statement, you got to like it. Nowadays, all the players wear their pants all the way down to their bottom of their shoes, and you never see anybody's socks. So good work crew on the camera there. We should mention, we didn't really talk about it, but Paul, the director and the one who runs Channel 16, has put together a nice lineup of fall sports activities covering both St. Louis Park and Benilde activities. Sand delivers to start the bottom of the 10th inning. 1 run and the Orioles can go home, but it's going to take a run, and it's going to take it from the 2-3-4 hitters, Pierce, Paulson, and Lindstrom, to lead off the bottom of the 10th. Ooh, and that shot to the gap in left center. Nobody's going to get that, as Joe Pierce just leaned into that fastball. And they were able to time a fastball and a leadoff double, and that's going to be just what the doctor ordered, because they've got their best hitter in Matt Paulson now up. Matt, boy, that ball was really shot deep into the night out there. Matt officially is 2 for 4, but he's hit 3 balls really hard, and he's definitely not a candidate to bunt. If Matt bunts, I think that'd be one of the big surprises. You're going to have the meeting on the mound now. If you remember the movie Bull Durham, they're all gathered at the mound, and the pitching coach comes out, and they want to talk about what they want to buy for the wedding, what wedding gifts you get. But here, I think they're trying to figure out what defense to play here, if Matt does a fake bunt and hit, or what he might do here. If Matt bunts, I'm going to be stunned beyond belief. I don't know if you can hear me. He's about 25 feet away, but so Dave Lindstrom on deck. Pierce on second with the winning run. All St. Louis Park needs to do is bring him in. Infield deep at third, short, and second. First baseman pulled way in on the grass this time, McDermott. Ooh, right. Paulson with a little sweet chit music up and in, and Matt's going to give a once over to the pitcher that time. Right in, down and in with a nice fastball there. Don't know a lot about Brady Sand, but again, great work by Alex Lampert. 9 innings, only 1 walk, 2 unearned runs. Nice shot of Matt. Gets a good cut on that and peels it foul. Definitely not going for the bunt. I believe we have a 1 ball, 2 strike count here. Nobody out. Bottom of the 10th inning. 40-year-old Matt Paulson steps to the plate. Takes a fastball down and in. Work the count to 2-2 here. Mosquitoes just flying all around here. I think Matt might have got one up high in the eye there. That fastball was hammered over by the East Sox dugout that time. Bodies. St. Louis Park has won one tournament on the year. They won the Belle Plaine tournament early in June. I think they went 3 or 4-0. Ball popped foul and out of play into the night. If you just joined us, single runs in the 3rd and 5th inning for Edina and single runs in the 2nd and 5th for St. Louis Park have been all the scoring. The teams have only combined for 10 hits total. And full count here again, rides along to Matt Paulson. That ball shot past the first baseman, foul ball. Oh, and it's dropped, so Paulson with new life. Beautiful effort that time, though, by McDermott as he went far down the right field line to try to squeeze that. He had a good angle on it, too, and it hits off his glove, and he just drops it at the last second. Good camera work. Excellent work there by the crack staff. Good production values in this broadcast, I want to say. A lot of close-up shots, and center field camera has been excellent. Again, a foul ball pushed out of play that time. So Paulson battles along here with the full count. Another foul ball. So this is a battle that hasn't ended. It's Brady Sand coming right at him with the fastball. Doesn't want to put him on here. But in my opinion, that wouldn't really be the worst thing because you could set up a force or a double play here, and you don't want to leave one too good with St. Louis Park's career best hitter and season-wise, again, their best hitter. So big, strong forearms and biceps. And the fastballs keep coming and the balls keep getting pulled foul. So don't know if Sand will have enough guts to come in with something off speed or try to nibble here. Or Paulson, as we talked about, with that pronounced open stance, but he'll close that front foot. Wow, is that a high fly down the left field line? That just carries. Oh, he dropped the ball, though, unfortunately. I believe if you follow the replay, I don't know if we have that on camera, but the left fielder had a really hard time seeing that fly ball. He overran it slightly. If you watch this, he overruns it slightly. Then he has to go back for the ball. It hits his glove, and then he doesn't have control of it. It goes... Oh. It might have been on the transfer. It really might have been. They're going to talk about it. I'm glad they are. Can you show that one more time, Paul? What are they going to do here? Nope, they're going to say it wasn't on the transfer. I think that's a hard call, too, because it's hard to read. It's hard to read where the drop occurs. Overruns it a little, then he goes back for it. Then he pulls the glove up. You know what? I think, I think the hard part is they're going to maybe say he didn't really have control on the glove goes up or down. So, but I guess in a way, first and second, they still got the force play. Paulson officially is going to get credited for a 300-foot single that doesn't advance a runner. I don't know if I've ever seen that. But. So Dave Lindstrom, the cleanup hitter, now up. I think a lot of the same crew of umpires know a lot of these guys through the years from doing a lot of these town team games too. First wild pitch of the day is going to do exactly what Brady Sand didn't want to do and put him at second and third with nobody out. Any kind of a fly ball wins the game. They might even move the outfield in quite a bit here because if it's a deep fly ball, they're never going to get Joe Pierce. And indeed, it looks like the left fielder might have moved in a few steps. Infield is in all the way around because they can't let a ground ball beat them here. They got to look them back. So tough luck for Brady there. He should have had a one out on the fly ball, but and that's going to win the game right there. It might even be deep enough to shoot out of here. It's a ground rule double, and that'll win the game as Dave Lindstrom wins the game with a ground rule double, knocking in Joe Pierce. And St. Louis Park goes ahead 1-0 in the best-of-3 series. And there you see Matt Paulson even decided to come around and score, but his run isn't going to count. So Brady Sand, the tough luck loser in the 10th there. Alex Lambert officially gets a no decision, as does Pete Fuller. The St. Louis Park Convicts, as they're called, with high fives all around. There you see the guys. They'll be right back at it tomorrow night, July 30th here at Keller Field. If you get a chance to make your way out. And if there is a Game 3, that'll be on Sunday night, August 4th. If you do want to get a copy of the game, go to ParkTV.org. On behalf of our crew, have a great night. And there's the phone number to call. We enjoyed having you. Once again, St. Louis Park 3, Edina 2. Life is good.